Peasants.
Oh, and I'm a whopper! To speak in the vernacular of the peasantry.
Dare you, you insolent
Thousands of enlisted peasants, swordsmen and soldiers.
And squeeze the hungry peasants for tithes.
Servant of the peasants that you are.
촌놈같이 그러지 마.
You should not be in here. These people are peasants.
You peasants are all the same. No appreciation of beauty.
Lay unnoticed for 100 years was probably picked up by some peasants.
It's called taxing the peasants.
Worst, you lose a
There are
peasant.
1 million Chinese peasants trying to get into Shanghai just to live on our rubbish.
We came from a small village. Peasants there told us Pankow Palace was growing powerful again because...
Better get under cover, Sylvester. There's a storm blowing up, a whopper. To speak in the vernacular of the peasantry. Poor little kid, I hope she gets home all right.
You picked that up.
How dare you, you insolent peasant! Nobody talks to me that way! Nobody!
£1,000 to the beast's assassin. There were thousands of enlisted peasants, swordsmen and soldiers, as well as all the hunters and adventurers in the region.
Only shag my wick and squeeze the hungry peasants for tithes. But now, you've given me...
I suppose you are more comfortable with this, servant of the peasants that you are.
You seem quite fixated on socioeconomic.
미국 시민이 되는 것은 오직 한 번뿐이야. 촌놈같이 그러지 마.
합한 미국에서 누가 돈 벌고 누가 존경받...
You should not be in here. These people are peasants.
The scenery. You peasants are all the same. No appreciation of beauty.
Beauty would be...
Out of a volcano came this message from him. It lay unnoticed for 100 years, was probably picked up by some peasant, gathered dust in a curiosity shop till it came to me.
I love the new exercise His Majesty does to keep in shape. It's called taxing the peasants.
Worst, you lose a peasant.
And to steal what's left of it. There are 1 million Chinese peasants trying to get into Shanghai just to live on our rubbish.
The Japanese will get hungry too, and there are more of us. Why would you do that?
Perhaps a peasant just attempted to salvage what he could, you know?
Is it for me to marry my girl? Generals for the officers, congressmen for the peasants.
Listen, I'm glad you brought that up, boy.
It isn't there. It is a silly peasant game. You have to drink it first.
And I said I would rather have been a French peasant and worn wooden shoes. I would rather have lived in a hut with a van.
Now, there'll be no questions asked. We are no longer fairies. We are 3 peasant women raising our orphan child in the woods. So, no more...
Village defended by peasants and farmers.
We fight peasants because no one else dare fight us.
Yes. Not even the Romans.
Rome.
Mankind. Is it? When you squeeze the nobility, it's the peasants who feel the pinch.
It's not my concern. Why should I stick my...
Little Basque village, a few hundred peasants. We dropped 3,000 bombs on it.
It may take months.
We have no pressing engagements.
You'll have to live with the peasants. There will be risks.
Peasant magic.
Immigrant workers. The Great American Railways were built by Chinese peasants. And even the British railways.
People are very quiet today.
The peasants fear you will bring the fireworm down on us.
What?
The fireworm. The fire serpent.
And she flies.
That's a load of codswallop, Wolf.
What does the rich son of a devil worshipper care what happens to a band of outlaw peasants?
My lord is a kind and generous man.
Tribe, Egypt, 2400 BC. Peasant couple plowing, 16th century BC, Egypt. Snake goddess, Minoan, 1600.
Konze! Ihr bleibt hier! Jawohl! Rüber zu den Bauern, los, ab!
Scam propaganda, then history.
Yeah, it's one thing to convince a peasant that his Turkish neighbor wants to cut his throat, but there are...
No, knew you'd get there in the end. When the Himalayan peasant
meets the he-bear in his pride. He shouts to scare the monster who will often turn...
This costume for women is hardly different from that of the man. In many districts, the peasant women wear trousers and raincoats like their husbands. This, coupled with the absence...
A peasant, stand up thus!
I think you ought to take a little more pride in the way you look. You act like a peasant.
All pretzels. What do I care?
You'll care someday, Miss Smarty. Wait till you get interested in boys.
They are uneducated. Some are no better than peasants from the Middle Ages. No better than animals.
No.
Really, what's wrong with it?
The Princess and the Peasant.
Yes.
Please, Trumbo, it sounds like a puppet show.
I happen to be in a generous mood, and I will grant you a boon. See that peasant out there? He calls himself Tenants. He's going to...
Town is perfectly all right. The present assault is over. Everyone is quite safe there.
How do you know?
I gave him safe conduct.
The peasants escorted him from village to village. They cheered him all the way to Canterbury.
People join us.
It's expected of me.
And the races and the casino.
What do you want me to do? Live like a monk? Or a peasant?
No, I'm just saying that we could economise.
If he returns, challenge him, make his supporters see their messiah for the simple-minded peasant that he is.
Well, no matter who you are, if you're a peasant or a star, there's a need for love in every man.
Mine was born first. It's only natural. First came the peasants in this world, and then came the padrone.
Masters, peasants, balls.
There! You see that? There are times when a peasant's brain is good for something.
You're not a peasant! You're just...
Now, I wouldn't be able to do that, say, to your family, what with all wandering peddlers and nameless peasants. But as long as there have been Burns, there's always been a...
They know nothing. They are peasants.
Another bus? Really?